How's it going, everyone? Christian here with Potato Chips Gaming. Today we're going to do a little bit of planetary mining. It's not really a big feature in the game, but it's pretty fun. No, I don't know why I said that. But I know a lot of people are confused for their first time doing it, so I'm going to give you the heads up. So above my radar there, you see the thing that's sort of flashing from left to right there. That's your sonar, radar, whatever it's called. That's going to help you discover elements. So what you're really looking for is sort of like those sound waves that are appearing. If there's nothing around that, or nothing towards that direction, you're not going to see those waves. But if you see those waves, try and go towards the middle of them, and they're going to close together as you get closer to your target. So you see they're getting brighter, and they're getting closer together as I get closer to the target. Originally they were very like thin, and you couldn't really see that too well. However, now, as I get closer to the outcrop that I'm going for, ooh, shoot, that's not good. Yeah, I'm getting more of the signal. So, yeah, right now I'm collecting nickel because I'm currently engineering my new ship. Yeah, that's right, I got another new ship. Had to sell my kidney, part of my liver, my firstborn child, my soul, and all of my ships in order to afford this ship, but in the end it was worth it. So there it is, the mesodrite, the mesosidrite outcrop. So let's just see if we can make it over there, because it's really hilly, and unfortunately this thing is a bit along the lines of paper mache truck as opposed to an armored vehicle. So that was iron. I'm just picking it up for the sake of getting rid of it, so that way it doesn't appear on my radar. I'll probably need iron for when I go to McQuinn, who is another engineer. He focuses on multi-cannons. However, I'm going to actually focus down on my FSD drive. So let's see, how much do I have? A ton of arsenic, which is thankfully what I need for my higher levels of, there it is, 27 nickel. So we're doing pretty well. Could be doing a little bit better. Anyway, so for surface metals, like metals you can't mine in an asteroid field. Ooh. I guess we're gonna just kind of slowly go down there. What you're gonna want to look for is a high density metal rich world. So this is the best world you can go to. There are high metal worlds which have a little bit less, and then there are just outright rocky worlds and barren worlds where it doesn't really have anything, so they're not worth looking at. So as you can see, Deciat 1 is a metal-rich world with a large metallic core. You can read it. Anyway, as you can see, iron 39.9%, nickel 30.2%. Nickel is what I'm going for because I'm actually not really employed by Felicity Farseer, but I'm using her to upgrade my engineering stats, and I'll show you that in just a few moments here as soon as I get this one outcrop. Oh, and you'll be able to see my new ship, which I've been traveling around in. Yeah, nothing else nearby, so let's go ahead and recall our ship over here, and then we'll get to actual, where is it? Oh wait, hang on, wrong one. Where are you, my baby? Let's turn the cargo scoop off. Where is it? How far away did I go from it? I can't have gone that far. Aha, there it is. Where is it? Where's my baby? It says it's over. Oh, it's overhead. Oh, there it is. Yep, there it is. The Bismarck Mark III. A Python. Come on, baby, land. Land for me. Now, you see my sonar going off there. It's unlikely that my Python landed on outcrop, but the thing is, it's actually scanning my Python. I'm just like looking at it, just making sure that it's not actually an outcrop. I'm like, oh god, did it land on an outcrop? Alright, let's go ahead and board the ship. Oh my god. Look down, and then board ship. What's happening? Trying to board the ship. There we go. Much better. Now our SRV is folding up, and we are going inside of our new and beautiful ship. Can't wait for space legs. I just want to walk around my large ships. Like, look at this thing. Whoop, hang on. Give me just a second here. Let's go on an outside view. Oh, yeah. Bismarck IV. Very sexy ship. That's my sort of license plate there, Victor. For victory. It's got a good caboose on it, too. This shit. Oh, dear God. What's happening? Who are these people? Up, 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 up. I don't know what's happening anymore. I'm getting the hell out, though. I don't know who these guys are, but I don't trust it. Not one bit. Oh, I'm not exactly a do-gooder, am I? 53,000 credit bounty. Granted, that's for murder. Anyway. Oh, I don't want that. I want system map. I actually want to go to Farseer Incorporated. Alright. So let's go ahead and get in there. Where is it? Let's get the hell out of the planet's reach before we actually start heading towards it.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
As you can see, I've got 6 little bobbleheads right here. There's the Halloween one. Why did they freeze? No, my bobbleheads aren't supposed to freeze. Oh, there we go. There's my Halloween one. It's a pretty cool little pumpkin guy. I've got Saturn, one of my favorite planets, because, you know, none of the other planets have a ring, or at least a very large one. And I think that's pretty cool. We need to make a ring for Earth. Just get a bunch of asteroids and have them, like, start coming to Earth. We'll hook up gravity generators. There's a picture of, there's one of Earth. Female pilot right there. Sort of Cassie Thomas's little favorite. My favorite is the wire Coriolis station one. And regular Coriolis station. Yeah. Let's get the hell out of Dodge. Where are we heading? We're heading over there. Alright, we should be out of the planet's reach, so we'll start picking up speed. Let's put all power into system. Put some power into engines. Weapons shouldn't be needed. However, we will hit reset if, you know, we get interdicted or something. Anyway. Yeah, that was pretty fun. Yeah, we're probably gonna pass it. Actually, we look like we're doing pretty good. I think I'm doing pretty good. We might pass it once a little bit. Let's see if I can get closer to it, so that way I hit the gravity well. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. The gravity, a little bit anyway. Come on, come on. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. Farseer Incorporated, home of Felicity Farseer, obviously. According to her lore, it once belonged to her father, which originally it was a mining station. Now it's kind of just an engineering station. And please slow down.
Orbital flight engaged.
Should be slowing down here in a second. Let's go ahead and turn this baby around. Unfortunately, it's Python's turning is atrocious. However, it is a large ship, as well as my weight is ungodly right now. So, you know, can't blame it all on the Python. The Python is the perfect ship, though. It's multi-purpose. It does everything it does well. It's a jack of all trades, but a master of none. Yeah, it does everything well. I am like absolutely in love with this ship. Go ahead and slow down a bit. And let's enter atmosphere. Well, what little atmosphere there is. Alright, let's go ahead and request docking.
Access granted. Proceed to landing pad 02.
Let's go ahead and even out our power, because I don't really need that right now. Let's go ahead and land, because my landing is atrocious. There we go.
Warning.
And
Landing
gear down.
gear not deployed.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh, let's face it, it's not nearly as bad as I originally was. Originally, I just tried to speed into it. And that never works out.
Touchdown complete. Engaging ship restraints. Your
Anyway.
arrival has been noted.
Starport services. Alright, welcome to Farseer Incorporated. Now, as you can see, I've got Access Grade 4 with her. Engineer's Workshop. There we go. FSD. Increase FSD range. As you can see, actually, let's go back. As you can see, I'm currently Grade 4 access, and I'm 34% to Grade 5. So, let me show you how to actually boost up those numbers. So, as you can see, whoops. Shielded FSD is my cheapest one. It only costs 1 nickel to actually do. Just do this a bunch of times. Just do your cheapest one a bunch of times. So I've got available attempts 45. Preview outcome. View cost and generate. Generate. And just keep hitting A and keep doing it again and again and again. Don't actually apply it, otherwise if you do want to apply it, you can. Just make sure it's actually good. currently got a level 2 modification on it, mainly because I just kind of wanted it. Also, I got really lucky with the level 2 and actually got a pretty decent one. Yeah, I'm not going to apply this though, but that was a fairly decent one, except for... Actually, it's fairly balanced. I wouldn't say decent at all. But yeah, as you can see, you just keep going with it, and remember how I started at 34. Let's discard. We're not going to apply any of this, but now I'm at 38. Because I'm at a higher level, it's going to take longer for me, but 60 to 80, depending on how lucky you are and what elements you need to get, should get you well into level 3. A little bit more will get you into level 4. I originally started out with 107 nickel. I don't even know where I got that. And I ultimately stopped at like grade 4. About 21%. I did one run for 27, which got me up to 34%. And now I'm up to 38%. So yeah, that's pretty much how you upgrade your engineers. You have to hope you're lucky with what they want from you. So currently what I'm trying to go for is increased FSD range. So select, and I need data mined wake exceptions. Where I get that is, what I'm going to do for that is I'm actually going to exit. We're going to head to, where is it? Oh wait, actually it's in Galaxy Map, never mind. Come on, come on. Actually, you know what, before we do this, let's just waste the rest of these nickels. Now let's head over to good old Acellus Primus. Galaxy Map. Going home. Plot route. I do have a little bit of an upgrade which increases my jump range by 17%, so I imagine that's going to do something for me. Because that's almost, that's about a sixth of it, or a sixth of my original jump range.
Ship restraints disengaged. Commence departure.
Alright, we're going to head this way.
Landing gear retracted.
Take out the landing gear. Eventually we won't be mass locked and we'll just straight up jump to the next system. Now, up here, this is where I was going to get my secondary resource. This is where I'm going to get the wake scans. I don't have a scanner for the wakes, but this is what you need to look for. We're going to go by the nav beacon because that's the best place for wake scans, especially a busy nav beacon. If you can find one of those, you'll be set. Looks like we're no longer mass locked, so let's go ahead and jump in there. Going into an anarchy system. We may try pirating later because who was it? Obsidian Ant, I believe. He's a YouTuber I watch. He's a Elite Dangerous player. He did this really awesome video. Let me just check real quick. Make sure that it is Obsidian Ant. No, it wasn't Obsidian Ant that did the tutorial. It was Wiggy B. Yeah, he did this really epic tutorial on pirating, and he tells you all the equipment you need and what weapons you should have. The weapons I have are kind of suited for pirating, so I've got 2 pulse lasers for accuracy and module destruction. So yeah, they're the most accurate ones. Multi-cannons just for general defense, and then the beam lasers for destroying the shields. Eventually I'm gonna have a fire group that is dedicated to the pulse lasers, so that way I can just like easily pick off the modules. What you want to do with the multi-cannons is go for their engines, and how you pick targets is, let's see, sub-targets right there. I can't really choose sub-targets right now, but sub-targets are what you want to go for. So you interdict them, you choose their engines under sub-targets on when you select them, and then you just go ham on them. Recommended to do this in a low security or anarchy system. As you can see, it didn't work out for me because I got a $53,000 bounty for 53,000 credit bounty for murder, and a 6,000 one for murder as well. So, yeah. Anyway, as you can see, this is like the first ship that really made me feel like I've really upgraded. Because it actually has a decently sized cockpit. And the design is just amazing. It looks like a sort of small Star Destroyer, maybe like an Arquitens class, minus the bridge being on the back and elevated. Which is a really stupid starship design when you think about it, because the reason Navy ships have elevated what is it called? Bridges, is because they need to see, and they need to actually see what's going on. All their communication relays need to be up high. Whereas with the Starship, you don't really have that problem. So yeah, this is more along the lines of what you want in a Starship cockpit. Just like in front, you can see everything, or towards the back, but not too high. Not like ridiculously high like a Imperial Star Destroyer or anything like that. And you don't want your shield generators outside of your ship. That was just a major design flaw of the Star Destroyer. And a major design flaw for the second Death Star too. And a major design flaw for the freaking First Order with that giant ass station. Then again, I guess it was heavily defended, but a small strike squad easily took the shielding for that thing down, and then a bunch of X-Wings managed to take it down without any dedicated bombers, which makes me a little bit skeptical. I'm just going on about Star Wars now. Might as well keep going. Yeah, I really didn't like the I don't know, it really felt off. Like, the First Order was really cool, their introduction was really great, Finn's introduction was great, and then he started murdering stormtroopers and like feeling nothing and I just like lost all that, because he first started out, like, you saw him conflicted. One of his friends got shot, Slip got shot. The stormtrooper who died in the beginning was named Slip. He was one of FN 2187's friends, Finn's friends. And yeah, you see this really emotional moment for Finn, and then just a scene later, he's suddenly shooting stormtroopers, people he's trained with, people he's probably grown relationships with, and he's just like shooting them going woohoo, and not feeling like anything. Like, you'd think there would be at least a little bit of regret. I don't know, I just don't like Finn. I mean, I liked his character. I liked him when he started out, but then after that, I kind of just became disassociated with him. Kylo Ren's emo temper tantrum guy, and Rey is Mary Sue. Like, I think it was hilarious how she just managed to wing it. Like, hey, maybe I have the Force. And like managed to do one of the most complicated like Jedi mind tricks on an indoctrinated stormtrooper, like just like that. It's just like, oh my God, lady, come on, you need to tone it down a bit. You need to tone it down a bit. Anyway, yeah. Kylo Ren's a wannabe but not gonna be Darth Vader, and yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. First Order really should have learned from the mistakes of the First Empire and not gone for a giant resource just devouring station. Like, what would have been really cool, in my eyes, would have been to see the First Order, because of the Republic's demilitarization, the New Republic's demilitarization, their fleet is not half of what it used to be. So what the First Order should have done was sent a bunch of like these newly constructed Star Destroyers. The Defense Forces of AeonPrime are like unable to cope with this. It's just this massive invasion. It's not really an invasion, but several strike squads of these new elite stormtroopers come down, and suddenly you just see the new Senate building on fire. Senators are being gunned down like non-stop, and then the stormtroopers are forced to retreat after several ways out of the Senate building have been blocked off. The senators still trapped inside. Then a Resurgence-class Star Destroyer. These awesome things that I really love the design of. They're a mix between the classic Imperial II Star Destroyer and a Venator class. The Venator being like my favorite Star Destroyer type. It gets its weapons to bear, its turbo lasers to bear, and it just aims down directly onto the senators' heads. You just see the entire Senate building collapse, killing all the Senate. The New Republic is in turmoil, and you just see this like battle that's ultimately won by the Republic. Like they managed to maybe take down a Resurgence class or two, and then the First Order retreats as soon as the bulk of, or quote unquote bulk of, the New Republic fleet arrives. But AeonPrime is decimated, and you just see these massive pillars of smoke. You see the planet on fire because they glassed the place with the turbo lasers. That was what I was hoping to see, not like the Death Star 3. The Death Star 3 is stupid, in my opinion, because because essentially the First Order were the rebels at this point. They were this small faction, despite, you know, having this like awesome advanced technology. That's just my opinion. I'm just bragging now. Let's go ahead and fuel scoop. Instead, we got essentially a rehashed version of episode 4. That's just, couldn't really get into it. I would have really liked to see them BDZ AeonPrime. It would have ultimately been a loss for the New Republic. So like they lose in the first freaking episode, and you just see Rey barely managing to escape the First Order's clutches aboard a Resurgence class. Obviously, they're not gonna reveal Snoke's new warship yet, but they're gonna like maybe reveal a few new Mon Calamari vessels, like the new Radis in the Last Jedi. Like I think it would be pretty cool to see like a new version of the home one, which was the command ship for the Mon Calamari. I think it was called an MC-80. Yes. So maybe we see a new MC-90 or something along those lines. Actually, an MC-90 was the repair vessel, I think. Actually, that was Legends. Yeah, MC-90. So we see the new like Disney version of the MC-90. Let's see. First Orders. Oh, we're almost here. We're at Word. Next one should be Acellus Primus. But First Order, what I think of them is really cool concept. Could have been better executed in some areas. For one thing, they're TIE fighters. Don't really like the old design of the TIE fighters. Because Sinar Fleet Systems, the company behind the original TIE fighter, saw the design flaw in its wings because it actually blinded the pilot on its side. You couldn't see anything outside. Something you really want for a combat vessel like that. So that's why they made the TIE Interceptor. If it were a new version of the TIE Interceptor, I would have been fine with it. I still wouldn't have liked the fact that they went with an old design, but I would have been fine with the TIE Interceptor as opposed to the original TIE Fighter. So that design flaw is back. Again, I really like the design of the Resurgence class. It's like it's my second favorite Star Wars vessel, right next to the Venator. The Venator is, I really like the way the top opens up of the Venator, and like it's just a massive carrier fleet. It's a very good multi-purpose ship. I really like the design of the Venator. Imperial 2 Star Destroyer is okay, but again, its shield generators are on the outside of the ship. So any fighter squadron worth their salt could easily just take out the engines, and then it's a sitting duck. So yeah, that's why I like the Rebels, because they focus heavily on fighters. And if you've seen my Battlefleet Gothic gameplay, you know I'm a heavy fighter user. Let's go to Beagle 2 landing. So I'm a big fan of fighters. I like this ship, but I also really want a larger ship like the Anaconda or something. I want to give it a fighter bay. Because for larger ships, fighters are extremely hard to deal with. Well, I mean, obviously not if they're like dedicated to point defense. But yeah. Really like Grand Admiral Thrawn in Rebels. He can be a bit of a or I guess it would be a Gary Sue at times, because they made him like pretty much nigh unstoppable. I'm okay with him. Don't really think he needs to know karate. So yeah, but I really like his character. I really like the fact that they stuck with him using the Sun Tzu's Art of War, essentially. Yeah. I'm just hoping they don't kill him off in Rebels. Especially not to a bunch of teenagers. Oh my god. Sometimes that show can just be ridiculous. Like seriously, in the recent season, spoiler alert, by the way, spoilers if you watch Rebels. They glass Lothal, like Ezra's homeworld. Like Ezra's homeworld is glass. They BDZ'd Ezra's homeworld. Base Delta Zero. BDZ is base Delta Zero. It's essentially where an order given, like in the Empire, where it just orbital bombardment. So that's essentially what that is. It's not quite as devastating as the Death Star, but like as in it destroys planets outright. But is that really a bad thing when you think about it? Because then you can easily re-terraform the planet. Well, easily, quote unquote. You can terraform the planet as opposed to an asteroid field. So yeah, that's why I really like that's why I prefer Thrawn's stratagem as opposed to the Tarkin doctrine. Tarkin's thing is a bunch of big things, whereas Thrawn is he better understands the rebels and knows that the Empire needs better fighters, which is why you see the TIE Defender, which is his big project. And the TIE Defender like just rips apart a Y-Wing squad. Unfortunately, due to plot armor, it doesn't completely rip it apart, and Hera, Syndulla, and Ezra were there, so I guess the Force didn't want them to do that. Or it didn't want them to die. But yeah, for the Rebels show, I wish they didn't have them fight so much. Well, like, you know what because what the Rebels are supposed to be is like this infiltrator squad, essentially. They're not supposed to be like this small surgical strike force, because they're not really that good at it, except for Kanan and Ezra, and they're Jedi, so, you know, those things that stormtroopers were not trained to kill, like the clone troopers. Speaking of which, I'm just going to go off on a rant again. Why did Palpatine decide to just outright replace the clones? Why do this to me? Why? Alright, let's get the hell out of Dodge. There we go. And we are out now. We should be out now. What the hell is happening right now? Okay, it looks like we're out. So let's try that again. Where was I? Oh yeah. In canon, or in Legends, Palpatine had a very good reason not to use clones anymore. I mean, his new reason is decent as well. Oh, for the love of God, stop going backwards. His new reason is fairly decent as well, but I like the old reason where, like, Kamino was pretty much completely destroyed, or at least the cloning facilities were, due to the Kaminoans not liking the new rule of the Empire, and they decided to forge their own private army, and then you saw the Kamino Uprising, which was really, in and of itself, pretty badass. So you just saw, like, stormtroopers in Phase 2 clone troopers going head to head. Some of the stormtroopers actually being clones themselves. And you just see this massive uprising. And you just see the clones going at each other, like, head to head. Anyway, so the Kaminoans didn't like the new Empire. They made a new clone army. Empire finds out about it and goes and wipes it out, unfortunately destroying the clone facilities as well. So then they have to resort to conscripts. Whereas in the new canon, it's just, meh. Let's get some cheaper soldiers. I mean, I suppose it has a point, but really all Palpatine really needed to do for that was like, oh, you want cheaper soldiers that don't die off quickly? Well, why don't you just edit the clone's genome again and just make it so that they just age fast up to 20, or just don't age fast at all, and then boom, you just have these, like, super soldiers that have been trained for like 20 years, and then suddenly the rebels are like no threat at all. Palpatine was not a tactical genius, nor were a lot of his admirals. So, yeah. That's why the rebels won in the end, because they had superior fighters and superior bombers, and could more easily make it to enemy ships, drop their payload and get out, and then reload. Whereas, they just had entire fleets that were nothing but fighter squadrons, so they could just pop in, pop out, and yeah, there goes that. Whereas the Empire's fighters actually need to... What was I doing? I'm just going on about Star Wars. Anyway, let's go back to Elite Dangerous. That was enough of my gripes about Disney. Hang on, one more. Yeah, as I was saying before... Yeah, no. I'm not gonna assassinate anyone. Power down. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that either. 78,000. Yeah, that's definitely worth it. Anyway, Starport services. Yeah, so I wish the rebels, like, just didn't do outright assaults as much, like they do in the show for some reason, or at least they try and sneak around. That eventually turn into my version of a stealth mission where it's like, oh, I'm gonna be stealthy. Stealth is optional. Oh, okay, and then they immediately just start blasting everything. But yeah, I just wish Kanan, I wish they were, one, a little bit older, so that way they weren't like freaking teenagers managing to do this stuff. I don't care if they were trained all their lives. Like a 20-year-old Hera would have been much better than like a 15-year-old Hera or whatever age she was. I think Kanan and Hera were adults, but like, for one thing, Ezra was like 15 at the time, so was Sabine. Granted, Sabine was a Mandalorian, so pretty much her entire life was fighting. Didn't really like her hair in the first episodes, however in the newer thing she seems to have phased out the dyeing of the hair, and she's gone back to her normal repair, and it's just like, okay, I can deal with that. Anyway, so the reason I'm getting my fighter out is because it has the not the kill warrant scanner, the frame shift wake scanner as a module. So we need to get the heck out of Dodge. We need to get out of the station, and then we need to go over to the what is it called? The other thing. Anyway, so what you want is a wake scanner.
Your way is cleared for departure.
Wake scanner, and then you want to go to Celis Primus proper. So 1800 light seconds away. Wait, wrong one. There we go. I wish there was more espionage in the Rebel show than actual action. Because you can still have action and still do espionage, but a lot of the time it just ends up with them like running away from the Empire, and you think at this point they would just be considered high-value targets and like send the Death Troopers after them, because seriously, they get caught a lot and everything explodes around them. I mean, they do it well in some episodes. Big haul like that, surprised you made it this far. What big haul? What are you talking about? Am I holding something? Oh, shoot. I didn't realize I had those. I need to sell those. We're gonna get interdicted, aren't we? No, I'm probably not gonna have you guys sit through this. So, essentially, what you want, the thing you want, is to go to a nav beacon with a frame shift wake scanner. Just sit around at the nav beacon and have, and just whenever a ship leaves, scan their wake real quick, and then you'll be able to get the thing you need. View engineers. Yeah, so if you need wake scans or specialized wake scans, just sit at a nav beacon and with a wake scanner, and you should be fine. All right, I'm gonna cut this episode short here. Sorry about the Star Wars rant. I don't know why I went off about that. I've been Christian with Potato Chips Gaming, and I will see you all next time.